So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert, if this is your first time tuning in. So today what we're going to cover is the housing market update so far as of January 2025. What I'm seeing personally, I do have some houses on the market, sold some houses recently. I'm not a realtor, just an investor. But yeah, I just want to kind of quickly touch on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing and what's going on with my personal properties and things like that. If you gain any value from this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely goes a long way to help out the channel. So it is 27, 28 degrees here in South Texas, so it's pretty freaking cold for us. Expecting maybe some light snow in the morning tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. Us Texans always love to see some snow every now and again. But currently what I'm seeing in the housing market, we'll go ahead and get into it. I have one property currently on the market. We saw a uptick in interest as soon as the new year came in. More showings and more viewings on the listings online. Now, we have had some people try to get approved for the property, but unfortunately, with interest rates the way they are, which interest rates have stayed pretty high for mortgages, even though the Fed has dropped interest rates, the mortgage interest rates are more tied to the bond market more than anything else, not necessarily the Fed rate. If there's other better investments for banks, they're going to do it. So, and that are also safer, I guess, safer. But anyways, so we have seen an uptick in viewings or showings, and we haven't seen necessarily an uptick in applications for us, for our property that we have. Mainly because, you know, it's just gonna be too expensive. You can just do some quick math on it. You know, 6-7% interest rate at the price of the house, plus your taxes, etc. Some people are just like, no, it's way too expensive to even start. The few people who have applied didn't necessarily get approved for the full amount to purchase the house. Unfortunately, I would love for them to have gotten approved. It helps me out, helps them out. It blesses them with the home. It blesses me with the income of the sale. So really pulling for buyers to get approved. But yeah, again, the reason they aren't getting approved is their debt to income is too high, but you also have your mortgage payment that's extremely higher. A lot of the houses that I have are in the 1 to 2, maybe even, they're all under 3% interest rates. But today, anyone trying to get approved for a loan, you're looking at, you know, 6, 7, 8%. So that drastically changes the monthly payment on a home. So you can afford less home today. So a lot of those people who maybe applied, probably if they had applied when interest rates were maybe 2 or 3%, generally might get approved, but not all of them have been. Now, aside from that, you have the cost of insurance. When you calculate the insurance has gone up tremendously also in our area, pretty much across the state or across the nation. So that also plays a factor into what they can afford on the home. And then when the realtors also show them the taxes have basically almost tripled, maybe 2.5x in just a couple of years. So a lot of homeowners have to look at that as well. And things have just gone way too high for the average person to be able to afford that. Now, the home I have on there is listed for about $165,000. So that's a pretty modest home. It's not, you know, super high-end luxury home, but it's also not a shed. It's a average family, a good family to start their family. It's a good home for a family to start. Again, not super expensive, but again, not everyone can get approved for this home, again, just because of the rise in interest rates. Now, aside from just my specific property, other properties, I've seen some. It was a new rehabbed home. It looked really well. It showed very well on pictures, and they did get to the contingency point where they did get an offer, accept an offer, but eventually things did fall through. Not exactly sure why they fell through, but just talking with other realtors and kind of getting a sense of what's going on. The value of the home has maybe decreased. the debt to income has increased, as well as the taxes. A lot of things are falling through because of the taxes and the insurance. Insurance, when they try to possibly get a quote for the insurance, they realize, oh shit, that's a lot of extra money a month that, you know, isn't necessarily calculated in the approval of the home. So just things like that is what I'm seeing and hearing, just talking with local realtors in my area. You know, it's a tough market. It's a tough real estate market. I see a lot of investors, including myself, offloading properties. For me personally, I just found better investment avenues than doing residential real estate like that. But it's not to say I won't get back into it later in the future, but right now there's more opportunities elsewhere, specifically in crypto for me personally. But now, as far as land prices are continuously staying high. They're actually getting a lot of views and a lot of showings as well. I guess I should say specific properties are getting a lot of views and showings as well. Not every single property, but specific properties, high quality, top tier properties are moving. Typically, if you go back a couple of years ago, pretty much anything was going to get some eyeballs on it. Today, that's not the case. It needs to be top tier property, need to be ready to basically move in for the land, so to speak. I see a lot of land people selling, you know, a couple hundreds of acres that are doing some work to help move that property a little bit faster so it doesn't sit on the market so long. Some of the things I'm seeing are they are creating senderos. If you don't know what a sendero is, or sendero, basically it's a clearing where people can hunt and shoot, or you can also drive, create a road through that as well. I'm also seeing a lot of land sellers creating roads, caliche roads. If you don't know what that is, it's basically this. This is a trail, but you can make this out of a road just using number 2 base, or larger stones, basically, in other words. So I see a lot of that happening as well. Another common thing that I am seeing is that these sellers are putting in some money to possibly redo fences, redo entrances, just to spice things up, make things look a little nicer and more appealing. Now, aside from that, I'm also seeing landowners getting ready to sell, doing a little bit of clearing, maybe clearing out for a possible home, clearing out for a road, or doing some underbrush clearing. If you don't know what underbrush clearing is, it's basically taking some big trees, say this tree back here, and then I'm going to clean all the way around that under that bigger tree to make it look nicer. And I pretty much would do that around some of the larger, maybe oak trees, mesquite trees, hackberry, cedars, whatever you got. That's the bigger trees in that area. That's what underbrush clearing is. I'm seeing more landowners doing that to make it more appealing for a potential buyer. What else? I haven't seen drastic cuts on land. I've seen only a handful, and that's because they're having a hard time selling that properties. There's a couple properties that come to mind. They've been on the they've been on the market for a couple months, 18 months to a year, so a year to 18 months. And yes, they are doing some significant cuts. I would say between $300,000 and $500,000 cuts on these properties. Obviously, these are $1 million properties, but those are some of the things that I am seeing. But again, they are some of the less desirable properties. Either their location is less desirable. One particular property is in a floodplain, so you only have maybe 100 acres that's usable out of the total 500. Just things like that. Lower desirable properties are sitting longer, and they are doing cuts. But yeah, that's pretty much the update from what I've seen. Some of these smaller tracts have started getting a little bit of traction in my area, at least as far as viewings, not necessarily sold or sales that I'm seeing currently, but at least as far as eyeballs on the properties or tours around the properties has increased ever so slightly since the start of the new year. But again, just specific properties, not all across the board. So yeah, but that's pretty much what I've been seeing. I'll keep you guys updated as we kind of move along throughout the year. If you gained any value, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.